This review will go over the game, so if you were planning on playing this game going in blind, then I would suggest you try the game before watching the rest of this review, just in case you wanted to play the game without knowing anything about it. But if that doesn't matter to you and you just want an overview of the game, then keep watching. Before I get into this video, I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, I know that I usually do reviews for mobile apps, and this isn't a mobile app, but I think I shouldn't only limit myself to just mobile games, so I'm gonna be doing this review anyways, and may occasionally do other non-mobile games in the future as well. Secondly, I know that I'm a couple months behind on this game, as it was more popular around May and June, but I just got this game recently, and so I figured I might as well review it, and hope that it's still relevant enough. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Also, this quick review may actually be a bit longer than normal, as there might be a lot to talk about, but it still should be relatively quick. So the game Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning is a parody of 1990s education games, and is made in a simplistic style and made to be sort of a horror type game. This game was created by Mika McGonigal, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, sorry if I'm not, also known as Mistman 12. The game is free, at least at the moment. I'm not sure if it'll cost money in the future or not, but I'll leave a link to the current download page in the description. Also, this is only going to be looking at the base game, not the camping trip or any future modes, just the base game. So basically, in the game, you're in a school and you have to collect 7 notebooks that your friend left behind. Whenever you pick up a notebook, Baldi will give you 3 basic math problems that you have to solve. The first time he does this, all 3 questions are pretty normal questions. However, the third question of the second book, and pretty much every book after that, is a strange one to say the least. One that you cannot solve. So basically, anything you put there will be the wrong answer. The thing is, whenever you get a question wrong, it makes Baldi angrier, and then he starts chasing you around with his meter stick, and the more questions you get wrong, the angrier it gets. And faster he chases you. And yes, you can even get the simple questions wrong too, and they will also make them faster. So basically, the least you can get is 6 questions wrong, but the most you can get is 21 questions wrong. At least I think so. If I did my math wrong, I guess I'm gonna have Baldi chasing me. Oh no! 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 I didn't— No! Okay, but in all seriousness guys, I think that should be pretty much correct. Basically, if he touches you, it's game over. And so, you gotta run. And he can be very fast. Once all 7 are collected, you have to escape the school, which is pretty difficult, especially considering you don't just leave. But I think when you try to leave, it teleports you back, and I think you have to go through each of the exits once, so all 4 of them before you can really exit. And then the screen turns red and distorted noises start playing, so it's pretty hard. But that's not all. There are also obstacles in the school that can get in your way. First of all, we have playtime, which is that girl who wants you to jump rope with her whenever you come in contact with her. And then you must jump the rope 5 times before you can go, which can slow you down and allow Baldi to catch you. There's also the principal of the thing, and he basically wanders the halls, enforces the rules in the hall, and gives you detention if he catches you breaking them. Like for example, running in the hall. Detention, I think, is initially 15 seconds, plus an additional 15 seconds added on each time you're caught in the session. There's also the gotta sweep guy. Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep. Yep, he's gotta sweep. Who sweeps the halls every now and then, and can push the player and other characters around, including Baldi. It can be helpful sometimes, and other times not so much. Then there's the bully. This is a bully. That's what the sign next to him says. I don't know why, but I guess they gotta make it clear that he's a bully, so yeah. Basically, he just stands there, he will take one of your items at random and then leave. But if you have no items on you, then he'll just block your path, which can be disastrous if Baldi's chasing you, so yeah, that's not good. Next is the Arts and Crafters guy, who is a sock puppet who doesn't really do anything until after you collect all 7 notebooks, in which if you encounter him after that, he'll teleport you and Baldi to the starting position of the game. And lastly, there's First Prize, and basically just pushes you similar to the sweeper but different, as he can only go straight forward when pushing and can't turn corners as easily as the sweeper can. Okay, so aside from the characters, there are also collectible items. There's the soda, which you can use to push back characters. Basically, you just unleash a soda stream and it just keeps pushing them back. But you can get detention if you're caught using it. You can get energy bars to fill up your sprint and keep it full for a limited amount of time, like just a few seconds. And by the way, you only regenerate stamina when you're standing still, so not only do you have to stop sprinting, but you have to stop moving altogether, which can make the game harder and make energy bars come in handy. You can also get quarters to buy sodas as well, and Baldi actually gives you a quarter when you get the first notebook right, so that's pretty cool. You can also get the door squeak liquid, which stops doors from making a sound so Baldi won't hear you when you're using doors. And you can get an audio tape, which when played in a tape player will stop Baldi from finding you, which is mostly useful when in detention. And you can also get the principal's keys, which allow you to leave detention early as long as you aren't caught though, in which case you'll be sent back. You can get the scissors to cut the jumping rope to skip the jump rope obstacle as well. The lock will allow you to lock yellow doors, which will basically make Baldi have to take a detour to get to you. So yeah, that can be useful. And finally, the alarm clock, which after 30 seconds after placing it, it'll go off and Baldi will go to it to destroy it. So yeah, it'll basically distract him for a little bit. And yeah, I think that's pretty much how the game works. There's a story mode to play with the 7 notebooks, and then there's an endless mode. By the way, if you beat the game getting all answers wrong, you get a special ending, but I don't want to spoil it. You can watch a video on it, like Markiplier's video for example, or you could just beat it yourself if you're able to. Basically, if you don't get another answer wrong for a while, Baldi will start to slow down a bit, so that's how you can do it with getting all the answers wrong, otherwise he'd be way too fast. So now down to the scoring. While the graphics aren't necessarily good by today's standards, keep in mind that this is just the game's style, and that's what gives it the charm. The graphics were made this way pretty much intentionally, and that was basically the whole point, was to get the 90s style, so that's a pretty good job on that. The game may be relatively cheap looking and poorly done, but that is what was intended by the developer, and to be fair, the game isn't that poorly done, it's still pretty decent. But I mean, come on, this is Baldi's Basics we're talking about. Don't expect to be getting something like Grand Theft Auto or Crysis or Battlefield or some other AAA game, because remember, this is an indie game made by a single person for a Game Jolt competition for making parody games. So overall, I think this game has a pretty good concept to it, and it was executed pretty well. I honestly think that the gameplay is even better than Five Nights at Freddy's, as there is more to this game than there is to that game. But I'm not trying to bash Five Nights at Freddy's here, I'm just saying, I think it's a more enjoyable game to play, in my opinion. So if you disagree, if you like Five Nights at Freddy's more, that is fine. But in my opinion, I think this game is a little bit better. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. So a good game overall for what it's worth. So in conclusion, would I recommend it? Sure, go for it. You've got pretty much nothing to lose. And the thing is, this game can be challenging and frustrating and can take hours to beat. So keep that in mind as well. You can honestly get quite a bit of time of gameplay out of this. Potentially as much as you want. And the developers, I'm pretty sure, are still working on it, so there should be more stuff to come in the future. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyways, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that L button if you enjoyed, and hit the S button for more videos in the future. And yeah, I'll see you later. Peach.